I can switch locations for this one. I'm gonna put the light here because it's not that good here. But now about hockey, now about the playoffs this year. Do I think that the which the light's somewhere here? Hold on. I'm gonna try to put it somewhere where it's good and it's not too bright. There, that's. I don't know. That's okay. So now, do I think who might there be playoffs this year? Yes, potentially there could be, but would it be bad if the NHL? Like I said in my video yesterday, would it be bad if the NHL didn't do playoffs this year? That'd be fine. Now, but it'd be fine because it probably won't be a cure. It's flashing. It won't make a cure quite right for that COVID-19 yet, and like I said, you just got to keep all the players safe, and if that's just to cancel the rest of the season, that's to cancel the rest of the season and the playoffs, and they could always be the cup one next year. I mean, the Jets had a close. They're in 15th, but they actually weren't gonna originally make the playoffs because they didn't have if you not sure how to explain it, but didn't have anywho, but then I heard a lot of rumors that they might do a best of 3 series and let all the teams in, or just half the teams up to like 20th place, or no, 18th place, instead of 6 or 23 teams instead of 18 or 16 teams, and do a best of 3 series. But like I said, a lot of fans would probably be upset if the Detroit Red Wings made it in, considering the season they had. I mean, they had a pretty good few games before we got the season suspension, but it's whatever the National Hockey League decides to do, because it's just gotta keep what's best for the players, and Now, I think the Jets, the playoffs do start this year, or did they do the playoffs this year, which possibly could be in June. The Jets can make it all the way to Stanley Cup final, but even though I'm a huge Jets fan, I'm going to say they probably won't win the Stanley Cup, but a lot of fans will be happy that the Jets made it all the way to the Stanley Cup final, regardless if they win the Stanley Cup or not. Like, these are just some of my thoughts, guys. Tell me some of your thoughts in the comments below. Yeah, I am going to turn the chat off for these videos. They're going to be live, but I'm going to turn the chat off for these videos. So, it's turned off now. So, for that one. So, yeah, because there's been people that have not been saying like stuff bad chats lately. So, for debate videos, so the chat will be off. So, yeah. Now, if they let all teams go, do you think Detroit will get swept, or will they move on? I think they can maybe get past the first round, or maybe they'll do like a round robin thing, and for like see what teams, and then the best of 3 series. But I think they should just wait till next year, honestly, because it just be like a lot of hockey. It should take too long in the summer. A lot of players are at home right now. Like I read this morning in the news that Patrick Laine is going back to Finland, overseas, back to Finland, and then the training camp is in early September. So they won't get much rest. I mean, yes, they're getting a lot of some time off right now, but I just think they should just wait till next year, in my opinion, because it's just better off, because most likely by September they'll have a needle for the coronavirus, and then they'll be able to help prevent it. So that way, it'll be 100. Once that happens, if it does, it'll be 100% safe for the players to come back in hockey. We won't have to see another suspension or stop the season for a little while next year, because no one likes it when the season is stopped for a little while. And like there's no sports, like the NBA getting canceled too, tennis and everything. I believe UFC is still on, and they just canceled recently. But yeah, this is gonna be a short video today, probably maybe 10 minutes. But this might debate some what I think will happen in the playoffs. Like I said in my last video yesterday, I just don't think they should do the playoffs. It's always next year. It's always another hockey season. there's not always time for like that and a second time for life, because I know most players are young, they'd be able to have a good chance of surviving the coronavirus. But if I'm like I mentioned in my video yesterday, you can't always call up players from the AHL because they need their players, and then there'll be short players, and there's always other leagues they can call it from. So, but it just wouldn't work out that good. Players need to stay on their certain teams, and because not every AHL player is ready to come to play at the NHL level. I know it's very similar. The AHL is sort of like the NHL level, yes, but it's more like for example, before the season was to be suspended, the Jets sent Mark Letestu to the AHL to get conditioned, which means I think he'd probably be almost ready for today's game. If there was a game today, the Jets were playing today. No, yesterday's game, excuse me. But yeah. So my thoughts are that they should just stick to this. As I mentioned, just cancel the rest of the season. The AHL canceled their season, so most likely the NHL is going to, because you can still call up players in the playoffs, and then they won't have anyone to do so. Now that this morning that you guys heard the news about the AHL canceling their season, the NHL will likely too, because just doing no playoffs this year, it's fine. We've seen that happen in 2023 or 2003, I believe, for 2004 season, and then we almost had it happen in 12-13 in the 12-13 season. Or was it 11? The second year the Jets, and just no one won the cup this year. That's fine. It's always next year, and I think the Jets can, if they play a good season, they can actually win the Stanley Cup next year. We won the 4 games in a row. We had a great last few games before the league shut down. Jets played really good, and I think that now I'm going to be talking about for draft lottery. Who do I think that should the first draft lottery? The Detroit Red Wings. After 2 years of the Detroit Red Wings having 2 struggling seasons, the 18-19 and 19-20 season, NHL season, the Detroit Red Wings have not been having the last good few years. So maybe they can just over the break or the summer trade for some good players or some draft picks, because they need some draft picks, and I think they got a couple in this trade deadline, but we'll see how will the draft picks work out. There's also rumors, can they potentially get Alexis Lafreniere? But I think Alexis Lafreniere will likely play for a Canadian team. I'm thinking, imagine the Jets getting Alexis Lafreniere. He's a good player, but would he be a good spot for the Red Wings? Yes, because I think the Red Wings would really need a good goal scorer, but it's mostly in their defense too, just like the Jets, and they just need more defensemen, and they just had a lot of players bad and injured. And I think for the Detroit Red Wings, what they also need is some new goaltending. So maybe trade for maybe they can trade for a new goalie, and then that will work out. Now, what Winnipeg Jets players do? We got in the trade deadline, we inquired Dylan DeMello and Cody Eakin. Cody Eakin's just taking the place of Brian Little, so potentially he's a rental. Not really. He may want to stay here, but if I had to pick out between the 2 players that we have, the most likely that will sign another year contract is Dylan DeMello. Because he was happy to be here, and then from rumors I heard that Cody Eakin was not very happy on being here. But who knows? Maybe he'll sign too. You never know. He's a good player. He scored the first for Dylan DeMello did. I think if the season when it went on, Dylan DeMello would have eventually scored, but Dylan DeMello's the defenseman. But I say the Jets will probably most likely pick up another defenseman over the summer. But yeah, this is mostly about playoffs talk, and like I said, I don't have too much to go into for this video, but I likely think that there'll be no playoffs this year because since the AHL canceled their season entirely and playoffs, there won't be any playoffs this year, guys. But who knows? The league can surprise us. But I think most likely no playoffs. But we'll have to see if that happens. And that's gonna be it for today's video. We'll see you all tomorrow. Bye. Sorry I couldn't put up 3 videos today, but I put out 2 videos. Sometimes I put 3 videos every day. I try to put 3 to 4, but I put up more than 1 every day at least. With that, guys, and if I do put up 1 video, it'll be usually like a 30-minute video if it's 1 video a day. But with that, guys, I hope you have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow.